Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon Rayron VR. Got another manga spotlight for you guys today. This is Blue Period Volume 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back here and see what we've got. Alright, so we got pieces. Yotora now has new materials in his toolbox for a wider range of expression under his belt. But a week before his first exam, Obai-sensei says he's missing a crucial edge. With so much at stake, Yotora's self-doubt brings him lower than ever before. Still in his fire, his resilience, and he might just get a lucky break too. Alright, and this is from Kodansha Comics. It is rated older teen, ages 16 and up. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into this manga. So with that, guys, we will be talking about spoilers, so if you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to watch this video at a later time. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So one thing that I love about this particular manga series is that they've always got these list of characters, and I'm really grateful that these are here, because sometimes when it comes to the characteristics of each character, sometimes they can get kind of confusing on who exactly is who in the particular panels. But it's just a nice refresher of seeing all of our main characters. I wish all of the manga would do it this way. But, you know, not everyone is like that. Alright, so we got our table of contents. Again, it goes by strokes for the particular chapters. And so we got mental breakdowns are no joke, the ability to have fun, the first exam begins, and brain juice busha. Alright, so with that, we follow our main characters as they go through the final prepping stages into the entry exams for the particular schools that they're going into. And it really shows the stress of entry exams or anything stressful in life. This volume is definitely one of my more favorite volumes in the series so far, just because it correlates with the real world in a very interesting way. So through our characters, we get to see the stresses of just when you have to put in a lot of work, both physically and mentally. It can be really draining. And what I like about this manga is that our main character, Yotora, he actually has a physical stressor when it comes to practicing for the entry exams. So what ended up happening was that because of the rash, it actually gives a lot of humanistic characteristics when it comes to our main character, that, you know, he's not, you know, so invincible, if I can talk right, when it comes to trying to practice for the exams. So he has to battle a rash, which is quite interesting because, you know, I was always looking for an antagonist when it comes to this particular manga, and really it's himself. And it's really clear now, particularly in this volume, that our main character is battling himself, that, you know, he becomes too overconfident. Not necessarily it's overconfident, but in a way that he's lacking other characteristics. And our main teacher here kind of points that out. And so when they go into talking about some of the weaknesses, the instructor, which was Uba tells to our main character that, hey, you're missing two vital pieces. And that is that you're not self-centered, and you just got to learn to have fun. And I think that second part is really important because, you know, if you really want to inspire, you really want to do something that you like, you always got to remember just to have fun with it, even in any type of job that you're doing. Because, you know, it goes back to the old saying that, you know, if you're having fun at your job, you'll never work another day in your life. And I think that is a very, very important life lesson. And I'm really glad that we start to see that, you know, our smart boy here, our smart protagonist, you know, he has weakness, and that is that he's too dedicated, to the point that, you know, you got to be careful that not to not to particularly push away, you know, people that make you self-centered and so forth. And as we go through the manga, with this particular volume, we start to see that Yotora gets more back into self-centered, and he finds his place where he can have more fun creating his work. And he goes and visits one of his friends, Koi-chan, and they had a great conversation on, don't push all your friends aside to try to be dedicated in one thing, because sometimes you'll lose yourself along the way as you become passive or passionate, excuse me, when it comes to whatever you want to do. And I think that's a vital lesson in life, and it's really well portrayed, well written within these particular characters. So one thing I also like about this volume is that I love it when writers give characteristics that we can correlate with. So like this particular chapter here, we get a birthday list of all the main characters here. And I think that's pretty cool because if you're really passionate about one of these particular characters, you can actually potentially celebrate it. I'm passionate with that with Sailor Moon characters, but I like this, and it just brings more humanity when it comes to connecting with these characters. And so I wish more, depending on the story, I wish more authors would do more stuff like this. It's really nice. So with that, after all of the stress, after all of the teaching, the practice, all the prompts that they had to do, we finally get into the exams. So all of our main characters are going into their first examined prompt, and unfortunately one of the main characters basically draws a giant X and leaves, which is kind of interesting to portray because not everyone is going to be passionate about art or a particular hobby or a particular subject, and it's very metaphoric seeing that type of action from one of those particular characters. Not going to say who because I want you guys to actually read it, and I don't want to spoil that portion of it. But yeah, so we go into the first exam, and now I will show you guys the first prompt. All right, so let's dive into this. So the first prompt that our characters get is called self-portrait. It is from the Department of Painting, Oil Paintings course, first practical examination on the 25th of February. It is a drawing topic, and then they list all of the conditions. And interesting enough, there are some forbidden items, which is interesting because these forbidden items are basically not allowed because it could be deemed as if material were to spill or any other incidences that happen, it could mess up another entry examinee's portrait. So in this case, they forbidden the use of water or of cola. Let's see, of water and powdered materials is forbidden. So that is our first prompt of this examination for our main characters. So they go through the process. I'm not going to go too much into detail with this because, again, this is a critical part of the story, I think, and I want you guys to kind of experience it for yourself, what our main character draws up for this prompt. I will tell you that it is quite well written for the first portrait that our main character, Yotora, does. One thing I will criticize this book, though, is that I wish we could have seen a little bit more of the other characters' drawings as well to get into their mindset as well. I think that could have been an interesting perspective, considering that we've been following these characters from entry level all the way through, and our main character, Yotora, maybe they'll do this in volume 5, I don't know. But I wish we could have seen, at least at the end of this volume, the other characters' portraits as well. It would have been an interesting perspective to see. But who knows, maybe we'll see that in volume 5. But we just follow Yotora's art progression. But with that, he does complete the art, and it is gorgeous. That's all I gotta say. It is clever, using all of the teachings that he learned, all the experiences that he learned, and it is a very good painting, drawing. But yeah, so he completes the first exam, and then it's gonna be a next couple of weeks before the next one is given at the academies. So. And with that pretty much concludes Volume 4. This is easily my favorite in the series so far. It gives us a lot of life lessons. It challenges our main protagonist. Yotaro. And then we also get to see that the side effects of studying too hard, of obsessing over something, um, giving too much time to it. And there's a lot of good life lessons. I think this was pretty solid when it comes to that, our main character, needs to be more self-centered and needs to have fun on what they're doing, because if they lose that aspect of it, then, what's the point? And you kind of got to see the polar opposites of a person who's having fun versus a person who doesn't want to be there at all. So, other than that, that is my quick spotlight of Volume 4 of Blue Period. Again, I do recommend it. It took me a while to get into the story, but the writing really is spot on. The correlation that you have in here between the experiences being learned and just that whole part about just having fun. That message is really resonated with me when it comes to this particular volume. So very good. Definitely recommend it. And with that, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Again, if you want me to review a particular manga book, let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll try to get to it as I can. But with that, guys, I'll see you on the next video.